From Joe Barth Field here in Brooklawn, Dan Wilkins Broadcasting presents South Jersey Non-Public B for the third year in a row. It's the finale between the Bishop Eustace Crusaders and the Gloucester Catholic Rams. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dan Wilkins. This is going to be an excellent ball game, as it is every single year when Eustace GC comes on the calendar. Last year, it was a 5-1 victory for Gloucester Catholic, and 2 years before that, one of the biggest swings on this field happened with Jack Mastero. Had a walk-off double in a 0-0 game and propelled Gloucester Catholic to another sectional title. And Bishop Eustace, for the third straight year, are the number 2 seeds. Bishop Eustace, for what it's worth, has not won a South Jersey Non-Public B sectional championship since 2006. It's been 20 years. But you wouldn't know that knowing the Crusaders. They're good every single year. They're competitive every single year. In fact, in 2026, they're 25-4. And so are the Rams of Gloucester Catholic. Both teams have 25 wins. Both teams have only one divisional loss. And for Gloucester Catholic, they're riding an 11-game winning streak dating back to May the 7th. So there's a lot on the line today. But I feel like one advantage that Bishop Eustace does have is in their pitching. They do have Dan Pasalacqua on the mound, the Delaware commit, who's sporting a sub-1 ERA at a 0.92. For Gloucester Catholic, they're starting Jude Morgan, who did have a sub-1 ERA last year as a junior, but his ERA has gotten up there a little bit at a 3.17. And that shows how good Gloucester Catholic is, that a 3.17 is considered a down year for somebody on the mound. But where I think Gloucester Catholic's advantages come is on the offensive side. I think that both of these teams are incredibly equal when it comes to their balance, but Gloucester Catholic's got a little bit more contact while Bishop Eustace goes for the power ball. You've got Dante Bell, J.J. McLaughlin, not to mention 2 of the top 10 home run leaders in the state of New Jersey in Mason Rosenberg, who's got 11 home runs, and Dante Matarese, who's got 10 on the 2026 season. So there's a lot to like about this matchup. Don't get me wrong. I feel like every year Bishop Eustace and Gloucester Catholic is a date that everybody circles on their calendar, and with an especially chalky bracket like this year with no upsets in any games, it was all the more likely that Bishop Eustace and Gloucester Catholic, with 2 legendary head coaches, Dennis Barth for GC, Sam Tropiano for Bishop Eustace, the winningest head coach in South Jersey history with over 800 to his name. This is going to be just another excellent chapter in another excellent rivalry. As we've said, this rivalry's been going on for a long time. The Bishop Eustace, the last time they won a sectional championship was 2006. But like I said, you wouldn't know it if you followed this team. Every year, Bishop Eustace is seen as a favorite. And, of course, they unfortunately get hit with Gloucester Catholic in this finale game. Gloucester Catholic did play Bishop Eustace in the regular season. They played in the quarterfinal round of the Diamond Classic, Gloucester Catholic winning 8-0 in that game. But I feel like Gloucester Catholic's run in the Diamond Classic was just representative of how dominant they were in the regular season. They won every game in the Diamond Classic by 5 or more runs as the number 1 seed. That was from the round of 32 at Sterling to the championship round all the way versus Clearview. So they've done a little bit of everything this year. The question is, can they win their 7th South Jersey sectional title in the last 9 years? We'll take a quick break. We've got Bishop Eustace and Gloucester Catholic coming up after the break. Your starting pitcher for Gloucester Catholic, Jude Morgan, coming into this game with 53 innings, a 3.17 ERA, and a 1.52 whip. As we said, he had a 0.7 ERA as a junior last year, so having a 3.17 mark actually might be down for him, but ERAs and records don't matter when you're in the postseason, and especially with hardware on the line like they've got tonight. For the winningest head coach in South Jersey history, it's Sam Tropiano and the Bishop Eustace Crusaders. They lead off with Roman Fiola, followed by Dante Bell. Mason Rosenberg at first base. Cleanup man is Max Sullivan at second base. Jude Morgan is ready. We'll resume the lineup after the first pitch. It's a beautiful sunny day, and we are underway with a foul ball back behind the plate here for the third straight Eustace GC finale. For Eustace, rounding out their order, Dante Matarese in center field. It's J.J. McLaughlin at third, Franco Iannone in right, Gabe Yates behind the plate, and Boyle the DH. Ball 1-1. We saw Eustace in a 12-2 run rule win as Fiola takes the 1-1, skies it to shallow center field. And Michelangelo is there to make the catch. That's out number one as the sophomore reins that one in, and Gloucester Catholic's got the first out of the ball game. So this will bring up Dante Bell in the 2 slot. Bell, the senior, 5'8", 170. Got to see him hit batting practice before their semifinal game versus Holy Spirit. He's batting .341 this year, hit .427 as a junior. 29 for 85. He's got 3 home runs this year on a very powerful Eustace home run heavy team as it's 1-0. Eustace as a team with a .376 batting average and 37 home runs as a collective. Bell laces this one. That one's going to get down in the right field for a base hit. Eddie Pinero picks it up. And Dante Bell gets the party started for Eustace with a line drive base hit the other way. So the batter will now be Mason Rosenberg. Now Rosenberg has hit 3 of his 11 home runs on DWB this year. And he is top 5 in the state. And what a turnaround Mason Rosenberg has had. In his junior season, he hit .222 with 1 home run as a junior. This season, a .411 average and 11 long balls in his 2026 season. There's a strike. 0-1. Morgan dealing with a runner on first. 1 away. Fouled back. Rosenberg will be headed to the Hun School for a post-grad year in 2026, or after the 2026 season. The Hun School up in Princeton, home of the Pirates. Got to imagine this kid's going to have a high bar, though, after, he basically bet on himself for his senior year, and it has paid off in dividends. As Rosenberg, a high chopper, that's going to be taken in at first. Mohan has a toss to the pitcher. Save! Rosenberg gets in there. It's an infield single. And the energy in this place is already off the charts. It'll be a 3 unassisted infield single. Dennis Barth is coming out now, and he's not going to talk to his pitcher. Barth is going to talk to the first base umpire. I'm not sure what the contest would be. Yeah, I'm not sure what the argument is here, but Eustace's dugout is having a ball with this. Your umpires for today's game, it's Carl Coaster behind home plate. Scott Bailey is at first base, and Matt Scalise is at third. So Barth, after talking to first base umpire Scott Bailey, now will face the cleanup man in Sullivan with 2 on and only 1 out. But one of the keys for Eustace today is they have to get on the board early, because Gloucester Catholic is a team that they will take advantage of you early if you're not ready from the second the first pitch is thrown. There's a line drive. That'll go into left field. It's off the glove of Ledeek, coming around third, and a run scores. RBI single, Max Sullivan. It's 1-0 Eustace. Already pandemonium in that dugout. So an RBI single off the bat of Max Sullivan. And it'll now be the center fielder, Dante Matarese, who hit a game-winning grand slam versus Holy Spirit on Wednesday to give them the run rule victory, 12-2 in the bottom of the sixth inning. Runners on first and second. First pitch misses out, 1-0. Matarese, that home run was his 10th of the year. And even though this ballpark is not friendly at all to the long ball, if he hooks one down the line like Jake Terranova did a lot, I could imagine seeing one today as there's a strike called. 1-1. But this is an excellent start for Bishop Eustace. I mean, Eustace was shut out 2 years ago, 1-0, only mustered one last year. And that one misses out, 2-1, and now Lipoff standing out in front of the plate, asking his pitcher to settle down. And listen, there's a reason why Braden Lipoff is going to be as high level of a prospect as he is. He's committed to East Carolina in the Sun Belt Conference, just outside of the Power 5 schools. Matarese fouls it back. It's 2-2. In the on-deck circle will be J.J. McLaughlin, the third baseman, who, when we saw Eustace on Tuesday, pitched 5 innings, only gave up 2 runs and struck out 7, also had a home run of his own. But Eustace's ballpark and Gloucester Catholic's ballpark are like night and day, entirely different. A short porch to right in Pennsauken, and no short porches to be found anywhere, as there's strike 3. Matarese, takes strike 3. It's the first strikeout for Morgan, and there's 2 away. So after a lazy fly ball, Bishop Eustace had 3 straight runners reach. A base hit by Bell, another base hit in the infield by Rosenberg, and then another RBI single by Max Sullivan. And now here's McLaughlin. First pitch laced out towards right field. Pinero going over, and he'll make the catch. Side is retired. But Bishop Eustace plates a run on an RBI single by Max Sullivan going to the pull side. Rams will take their first at-bats when we return. Your pitcher for Bishop Eustace, Dan Pasalacqua, the commit to the University of Delaware. He'll play under Greg Mamola next year. 50 innings. Man, this kid likes even numbers. 50 innings, 20 walks, 80 strikeouts, and a 0.98 ERA. His whip is at 0.92, and whether you like those numbers or not, what I can tell you is he's got the advantage in this game. Bishop Eustace has a 1-0 lead going to the bottom of the first. You have to imagine he is riding with that momentum on his shoulders. We saw him earlier this year versus Ocean City. He had a 5-inning effort where he gave up 1 run and struck out 11 in the game. And I know this kid's special. I've been watching him for a while, and he's going to be facing a very talented ball club. Your starting lineup for Dennis Barth and the Gloucester Catholic Rams. Noah Danza at the commit to Mississippi State. He is the shortstop batting leadoff. Jason Bogart, your second baseman on the other half of the infield, he bats second. Braden Lipoff, the East Carolina commit, bats third behind the plate. Jude Morgan is in right field. Jude Morgan is the pitcher, batting fourth. Henry Pankos, the commit to Sacred Heart, bats fifth. It's Chase Ledeek, the transfer from Collingswood. He bats sixth. Mike Angelo is the center fielder, batting seventh. In the 8th slot will be Eddie Pinero, who was the starting pitcher in the Diamond Classic final. He mans right field. Sophomore Braden Mohan is at first base. It's a bit of a sticky day here in Brooklawn at Joe Barth Field, but the first pitch, looks like he got him there. 88 degrees today here in Brooklawn. Partly cloudy. A strike called. No balls, 2 strikes. Very light wind, 7 miles per hour blowing to the west, which shouldn't affect too many fly balls in this game. And a strike called, 1-2. So a nice little breeze, but it is quite humid today here in Brooklawn with a great crowd on hand as that one misses. Danza, the 6'2" senior, takes outside, and Pasalakwa's now got a full count. Danza batting .488, and there's one thing that he is quite good at, and it's drawing the free pass. He's top 7 in the state in drawing walks. He's walked 28 times this year already with a .488 batting average and an .814 slugging percentage. And there's walk number 29. As Danza gets a free pass, and he'll set up Jason Bogart now in the bottom of the first, nobody out. That wasn't a terrible at-bat by Pasalakwa there. I think he tried one too many times to deliver a waste pitch, because what he's trying to do there is he's ahead in the count. He's got 2 strikes on him, and I think he was too worried about fishing something low and away and making him chase. Listen, he's a .488 hitter, but Pasalakwa is still a Division I pitcher. You can blow him away with your stuff. I would have gone with a fastball high and tight, something that would have made him swing and miss or at least made him induce weak contact. We got time called, and the home plate umpire just came off the plate. What's going on here? So the home plate umpire just walked away after the pitch was called, and now he's talking to Dennis Barth again. I'm really not sure what this delay is, but that's Carl Coaster again. Yeah, so I think there was some kind of bench warning given, and now Coaster's going over. He's now running over to the first base dugout. We've got trouble here. We've got trouble. The first base coach for Gloucester Catholic is yelling at the Bishop Eustace dugout. He is in their faces, and Carl Coaster is trying to break this up. They're trying to keep the peace here. This could get real bad real fast. Eustace was fired up. I've never seen this before. I've seen emotions during this championship game. I mean, it's the 3rd year in a row we've covered it, but I have never seen somebody that spirited. That's the assistant coach over at first base. He's in the umpire's face, and I think he got tossed. I don't understand why a first base coach is yelling at a dugout that's full of high school kids. I mean, Sam Tropiano's now talking to Carl Coaster here. This could be trouble. I mean, if we're in the first inning and these umpires can't keep this game under control, you could be dealing with some serious consequences in this game and long term. So it looks like, well, the first base coach didn't get tossed because he's still on the field, which, I'm sorry, but I feel like if you are in the faces of the other team as a coach, That's crossing a line, championship or not. And I don't think that's right. I mean, I understand emotions are a part of the game, but the umpires are going to have to do some heavy lifting to keep this game peaceful in a game between two parochial schools. How ironic. This one's fouled back, and it's 0-2 here. So Bogart tried to bunt on the first pitch. He held up, but he did offer, and the strike was called, so it's 0-2. But that could have been a really, really bad situation there, and I'm glad that it didn't escalate further because that was a problem. Pasalacqua from the stretch. This ball is floated into right field. It'll drop in front of Iannone. He'll pick it up. Danza stops at second. It's a base hit for Jason Bogart, and it's back-to-back base runners for the Rams as it'll be Braden Lipoff now. Now GC getting loud in their dugout. So here's Braden Lipoff, the commit to East Carolina in the Sun Belt. He's been committed there since he was a sophomore before they changed the commitment rules. He's a .462 hitter this year, .413 lifetime, with 11 career home runs, 4 of them this season. That one's up and out. And 138 career hits for this young gentleman with 114 RBIs, 43 hits, 38 RBIs this year, 19 walks, and what's more surprising for me as a catcher, 14 stolen bases. Quite the impressive mark for somebody behind the plate. Reminds me a little bit, not of the same scale, but Ty Koblentz of Woodstown. Somebody, under 6 feet tall, but a great defensive catcher who can also run the bases quite well. Because a lot of times catchers don't even get the opportunity to run the bases because their courtesy ran for. So Lipoff having 14 stolen bases is quite a high bar. There's the 1-1. That one's up and out. 2 balls, 1 strike. Pasalacqua to commit to Delaware, and Lipoff the commit to East Carolina. Hey, those two have played in non-conference play a little bit recently, so you could see this matchup at the collegiate level sometime soon. 2-1, fouled back towards the netting, and it's 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out, now time called. We could be here for a while. Two balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out after a walk and a single. To the 3-man Lipoff. There's a ground ball, third base side. It'll go to Bell. He'll tag the bag, throw to first. In time, double play. A 6-3 double play. Bell tags the bag in transition. He retires 2 runners. It sends Danza to third. And that will now send up Jude Morgan, the pitcher, here to try to help his own cause and tie this game. And as much as you hope that the ugliness is behind you, if you think it is, you don't know what this rivalry means to South Jersey. I mean, I've described it to folks as there's a ground ball. That is a fair ball, left field line. It's going to go off the fence and left near the church. Fiola misplays it and lets it go by him. He'll pick this up. Morgan's on his horse to third. He slides in safely. RBI triple Jude Morgan, and the game is tied. Roman Fiola misplayed the ball in left field. He let that ball roll by him. Well, not really let the ball, but he just didn't play it at a shallow enough angle. He tried to cut in a little bit too early, and that forced the ball to go past him all the way to the fence. And the third base umpire is still pointing at the Gloucester Catholic dugout, and now we've got time again. So Carl Koester and the third base umpire in Matt Scalise are talking. I mean, this is worrisome. You almost never see this in a baseball game, and now the first base coach is again with his hands up talking to Scott Bailey. You got to play on at this point or you got to throw him out. I mean, listen, you can't let that be a distraction of the game. Because if this game really does get out of hand and something does happen, then that diminishes all of what we do in South Jersey to keep this game as respected as it is. There's a strike called. It's 1-1. Henry Pancoast, the left fielder, is the batter. He's committed to Sacred Heart University. 6'2", 190, 286 hitter this year, 274 in his career. That one just off the plate. 2-1, 22 for 77. He's got 8 extra base hits, 3 home runs. Hasn't homered, though, since April. Had 2 home runs and a win over Jackson, as that one misses out. 3-1. Here's the 3-1. Swing and a miss. And the inning is over. Dan Pasalacqua gets a strikeout in an intense first inning. But Gloucester Catholic ties the game on an RBI triple to left field off the bat of Jude Morgan. We're through 1. It's Eustace 1, GC 1.
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
Franco Iannone leads us off here in the top of the second inning. We're tied at 1. South Jersey non-public B final here at Joe Barth Field, Brooklawn, New Jersey. Franco Iannone is the leadoff man. 7, 8, 9 for the Crusaders as that one misses outside, 1-0. It's Iannone, Yates, and Boyle. Iannone laces one, but it goes right into the glove of Braden Moyhan. Makes the play, and there's out number 1. Can't be mad if you're Franco Iannone. I mean, listen, you hit it well. You laced it off the bat. But just a line drive where Braden Moyhan was set. You got to imagine he was also hugging the line because of the left-hander. So here's Gabe Yates. Strike called. He split his time between catching and DHing this year. There was, of course, Gabe Rogers behind him, but he transferred to Paul VI. As there's a ground ball, high chopper. Ledick has trouble with it, and that will be a base runner for Bishop Eustace as Yates gets on. I wouldn't call that extraordinary effort. I mean, the high chopper was tough, but Yates out of the box did take a step a little bit too quickly or a little bit too far. So I think my judgment of that is I would call that a fielding error on Laddick. But obviously hits and errors are something that will always be debated. And honestly, in the context of this game, hits and errors probably are in the hundredths when it comes to the priorities of this game. Up and out to Colin Boyle, the designated hitter. Swing and a miss. Here goes the runner to second base. That throw gets into center field. Angelo picks that one up, and it's a stolen bag. That's Balmorris, who was running for Yates on the courtesy run. And Balmorris picks up the stolen bag with with one out, after the line out to first base. Swing and a miss. Boyle behind on it. Boyle, during the semifinal game versus Holy Spirit, got hit by a pitch where it hit him in the head. He was okay. He was a little bit shaken up, but he stayed in the game and made a couple nice defensive plays over at third base during the semifinal. That ended in 6 innings. Both of these teams, in both of their playoff games so far, have scored double-digit runs in their wins. Eustace beat St. Joe's Hamilton 10-0 and Holy Spirit 12-2. Gloucester Catholic, for their part, beat Princeton Day 10-3 and Ranney 13-4 to advance to where they are today. As that one is a strike 3 called. Boyle left that one on the outer half of the plate. That's out number 2. We'll go to the top of the order for Roman Viola now. Viola led off the game with a fly ball to center field, but after that, 3 straight base hits followed. And that's been Eustace's offensive output so far today, as there is a strike on the outside corner. No balls, 1 strike. Now we'll throw back to second. Nothing going there. Laddick able to hold him back. Takes a strike, 0-2. Eustace didn't seem like the strike call. I would judge more if I was behind the plate, but being in the outfield, I keep my reservations to myself, especially as a neutral broadcaster. In the bottom of the second for Gloucester Catholic, they will lead off with Chase Laddick, Mike Angelo, and Eddie Pinero, 6, 7, and 8. And if the inning continues after him, Braden Moyhan will ride out the order in the 9 slot. Poked out to left, a half swing, but it's foul. Goes into the church parking lot, or somewhere around there. So Yates reached on an error. His runner, Balmorris, stole second base. But nothing further in this inning. A line drive and a strikeout. Jude Morgan settling in here on his home field. This ball's fly by Viola, deep to right center field. Angelo is there, and in the vast outfield here at Gloucester Catholic, the inning is over. Angelo makes the catch, and it's 1 batter above the minimum for Bishop Eustace. Going to the bottom of the second, 1-1.
Book Dog Pro Wrestling for your next event or outing for the greatest action that New Jersey Pro Wrestling has to offer. Any place, any time, any setting, Dog Pro Wrestling will bring the action to you, and you won't want to miss it for moments like this. But don't just take it from me. Take it from Max Mundo, the Dog Pro Wrestling ambassador.
This is Max Mundo with Dog Pro Wrestling. Are you a civic organization? Sporting club looking to fundraise? Then look no further to Dog Pro Wrestling. We do grand openings, corporate events, and much more.
And why not from some of the wrestling talent themselves?
I'm Vinny the Fixer, and I'm the champion of Dog Professional Wrestling. If you want to book the best, come see us. We're the cream of the crop. We'll come to any fundraiser you can think of. Just name the place, and we'll show up.
This is the upstanding Dylan Mesh, and for the entirety of my professional wrestling career, dog wrestling has been a mainstay for where I like to wrestle. So you can believe me when I say that it is quality. And I'm upstanding. I'm the only opinion you need.
Yeah! It's your boy Gabriel Hodder here with my man Matthew Oman, and if you want your events to be all fight, no flight,
then book Dog Wrestling so you can witness true primal fear.
Woo!
Bottom of the second inning here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. It's Dan Passalacqua facing Chase Laddick. Third baseman in today's game, transferred from Collingswood. Had quite the career at Collingswood, but decided to leave Knight Park and trade it for Joe Barth instead, as there's a strike called. 6, 7, and 8. Collingswood definitely had a down year for sure. They were the number 2 seed last season. Or excuse me, the number 3 seed last year. Lost in the South Jersey Group 2 semifinals to Haddonfield 10-1. Strike called 0-2. And now Collingswood was the 16 seed in this year's Group 2 bracket. Got no hit by Haddonfield in the first round. That one's away. 1-2. But after a highly contested first inning, Gloucester Catholic and Bishop Eustace both trading off a run. Max Sullivan had an RBI single to open up the scoring in the top of the first. Jude Morgan followed right up with an RBI triple to left field. Ball that was misplayed by Roman Fiola, and run would have scored anyways. There's a fly ball. Right field line, first base line. Look out, that one's foul. Headed out towards Browning Lane here in Brooklawn. Of course, if you're familiar with Gloucester Catholic High School, you'll know that their actual physical school really only accompanies basketball. There's no on-campus athletics because of where it's situated in the city of Gloucester. As that one misses, 3-2. Their soccer teams play all the way down in Sewell at the Patrick Payton Complex, over 20 minutes away from campus. And this is probably about 5 to 10 minutes from Gloucester City and their home school building. That one's low. Comes back from the count, from being behind in the count, and works what is now the second walk off of Passalacqua. And it will now bring up Mike Angelo, the center fielder, and the sophomore. Strike call to Angelo. Angelo batting .323, an improvement from 254 last season as a freshman. Listen, if you can get valuable playing time as a freshman on Gloucester Catholic, that means you're a very well-rounded ball player. He had 67 at-bats last year. He's at 65 this year. 21 for 65, 1 homer, 4 extra base hits, 12 walks. Has had 5 games with a hit in his last 7 games. Had 2 hits and an RBI versus Ranney in what was a breakout win for the Rams, 13-4 over Ranney. That was a team that they beat, I believe it was like 12-3 last year as well, so it was more or less the same result. Throwback to first, not in time. And for Ranny, they played Gloucester Catholic in the final back in 2023. A quick tidbit, I was actually supposed to cover that game, and it was supposed to be my first ever sectional final right out here in right field at Gloucester Catholic. But this one's fouled. First base line, Rosenberg thought he was going to have a play on it, but he does not, and it lands in the street. 2 strikes now on the batter. But we were supposed to cover this game, but it actually ended up conflicting with my SATs because I was a junior in high school at the time. This was June of 2023. And I got done, around 11. Game was supposed to start at 1, but you couldn't leave. You weren't allowed to leave until everybody in the room was done with the test. So there was somebody who stayed behind until 12:15, and I missed the game because of it. So a stolen base, getting in there with a head full of steam. Great steal that time by Leduc, and that'll be a runner in scoring position for Gloucester Catholic after the walk and the stolen base. That was strike 3 called to Angelo. Strikeout number 2 for Passalacqua. That'll now be Pinero. Pinero, back on May the 19th, pitched all 5 innings of Gloucester Catholic's route in the Diamond Classic final. They beat Clearview 13-2. Had a crooked 12-run 4th inning in that game. That one's up and out to Pinero. But Pinero was the starter in that game, and I didn't know too much about him before this year. I mean, obviously, just like with every team, you've got to fill gaps in the lineup when commencement comes around. But Pinero was one of those guys that I didn't know all that much about. He's a sophomore. Only had 4 at-bats last year, but he's 15 for 48 in 2026 with a .312 average and 13 walks. Not to mention on the hill, as that one's outside, 2-0. 21 2/3 innings, 7 walks, 17 Ks, and a 2.26 ERA. Now, he threw versus Princeton Day, and that was back on May the 28th. So he would be eligible to throw today if Morgan gets into trouble. Passalacqua looks back, and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Hefty hack by Pinero. So Passalacqua, 2 strikeouts. He's allowed just 2 hits so far, but he has allowed 2 free passes. That's the 2-1. One's up and out, 3 balls, 1 strike. I'm a little bit surprised by Passalacqua struggling to find the strike zone here. I mean, listen, he's a Division I pitcher. He's somebody that knows how to locate the zone. He's got 80 strikeouts coming into this game, but he has allowed 20 walks, which 20 walks in 50 innings is not a bad number. It's not high or anything. We've seen lower, but we've also seen way higher out of a lot of really talented arms. It's a 3-1. Pinero gets a piece of it, fouled straight back to the fence, and it's 3-2. But what I'll tell you is I think a lot of pitchers today are very much obsessed with throwing harder as opposed to throwing in the strike zone. And I feel like Passalacqua goes against the grain a little bit because he still throws hard. He throws lower 90s, topped out at 93 at one point this season, but he also is able to locate the ball really well, which is why he's a Division I prospect. The 3-2. That one is outside, ball 4. Rosenberg disagreed with it, did a twirl at first base, but it's a free pass for Eddie Pinero. And that is now the 3rd walk allowed by Dan Passalacqua. Now before anything can spiral for the Delaware right-hander, they'll send their pitching coach out to talk to him. The batter will be Mohan, the first baseman, another sophomore. And we'll check at the end of the inning where his pitch count is. But you have to imagine, I mean, listen, we saw Carson Brandt on Wednesday. He only threw 1 inning. Probably a good chance that he can pitch today. I mean, listen, Bishop Eustace had so many great arms last year that they've now had to fill in on this roster, Lucas Edwards being one of them. Eustace is certainly a school that produces great pitching. I mean, if you are a fan of Major League Baseball, you know Zach Gallen very well. the Arizona Diamondbacks ace who graduated from Bishop Eustace in 2013 and has now made a heck of a living in Major League Baseball, formerly with St. Louis, but he's been with Arizona since 2018. A 1.86 ERA for Eustace's staff. And the first pitch, Mohan lines it. It's caught at third. Throw back to second is in time. Double play. A double play for the second time in as many innings as Eustace brings him home. And we'll go to the third. It's 1-1, still tied up. Here's your replay. Your replays are presented by Harper Driving School for today's game. Take a look at this play. I don't know if I caught the line drive at third, but Mohan laced this one off the bat. It was caught, and then let's take a look. Bang, bang at second. Got him by a couple steps, and an amazing play it was as Jude Morgan will face Bishop Eustace in the top of the third. We're at a 1-1 game. It's Joe Barth Field here in Brooklawn. I'm Dan Wilkins here on the call. Most likely our second to last baseball game of the year. We've got Mainland and Delsey scheduled for tomorrow at 3 p.m., but I think that'll be all after this because state semifinals are on Monday, and I don't think as of now there's a situation where any team that is in the South Jersey brackets, as in Kingsway, Delsey, let's see who else is in. Group 2 is Haddonfield, and Group 1 is Maple Shade and Woodstown. I don't think any of them have a higher PowerPoint allocation than their central counterparts. That one misses. For Eustace, it's Bell, Rosenberg, and Sullivan. Bell singled to right field. He laced the ball the other way. And he'll take a called strike on the outer half. But Pasalakwa struggled a little bit with the control. He's been bailed out as that's ball 4. Bell takes a free pass, and for the second time today, he's reached base. And it'll be Mason Rosenberg, the batter. Rosenberg, as we said, the commit to the Hun School. He'll spend a post-grad year there. But you know when Mason Rosenberg's batting because of that bright green bat. I mean, listen, our camera's zoomed in, but I'm standing maybe 350 feet from home plate, and you can see that green bat like nothing. I mean, it is something. As there's a strike called to Rosenberg on the inner half. But the transformation that Rosenberg has had has been incredible. We talked about it before. 1 home run in each of his sophomore and junior seasons, turned that number up to 11 after hitting .222 as a junior. I mean, he really shaped his future because of this season. Rosenberg flies it. Left field line, it's foul. No balls, 2 strikes, at a strike called and a strike fouled away. The 0-2 upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes. That one is strike 3 called. Lower half. And Rosenberg strikes out looking. There's 1 away. And this will now send up Max Sullivan. But I've had to describe this game, this environment, to those outside of South Jersey and even those outside of New Jersey. And what I can best describe to them is that at the high school level, this is your Yankees-Red Sox. Both teams have a lot of accolades, but some teams have had more accolades as of recent. Like we said, Gloucester Catholic has won 6 out of the last 8 sectional finals. Ranney won it once in 2023, and Holy Spirit won it in 2021. They ended up winning the entire state championship. Or I apologize. No, it was, oh, hold on here. Bunt. Runner went back to first. Said the batter pulled back. But, yeah, with Holy Spirit 2021, Ranney 2022, and the Rams have won 3 straight, 23, 24, and 25. 23 was over Ranney, 4-1. 2024 was 1-0 over Eustace, and 2025 was 5-1 over Eustace. Ground ball to third. Got to play at second. Throw to first. They got 1. Can't get the play on the second attempt. Mohan did pick up the ball, but Sullivan is safe. It's a 5-4 fielder's choice. GC tried to go around the horn, only got one end of the deal, though, and it'll be a fielder's choice to put the runner on first base with 2 down. So here is Dante Matarese. I was corrected on his pronunciation. I was saying Matarese for a while. Listen, Matarese, he's got some elite company, and considering who he's related to, I'd rather not get roasted by Mr. Joe Matarese, the comedian. This ball's flied out to left field. This one's hit pretty well. It'll stay up there. Vanco's going over, and he'll make the catch. Side retired. So Bishop Eustace gets 1 runner on a free pass, but nothing more. We go to the bottom of the third. It's Eustace and GC tied 1 apiece. Jersey is the number 2 seed. As we said, they beat Manville 19-0 in the first round, which was even larger than Audubon's 16-0 win over Paulsboro as the 1 seed in the first round. That one's hit out towards center field straight away. Oh, she misjudged it. Got over her head in center field. Now this one's got a chance to be 3 bases for Spire. She's flying around third. Here comes the throw to the plate. It is not in time. What a way to kick off a semifinal with an inside the park home run. Emma Spire, who will take her talents to the Great Danes after 2026, lights up the scoreboard with a fly ball that got misjudged in center field. Pasalak was still on for the third. No surprise that he's on for the third, of course. Would have liked to see some more folks in those bleachers down the third base line. But don't be mistaken. It is a fantastic atmosphere tonight as there's a swing and a miss. To Noah Danza, it's 0-1, 1, 2, and 3 for the Rams. Danza, Bogart, and Lipoff. Passalacqua has allowed 3 walks, 2 in the prior inning, but he got out of it with a line drive double play to third base. Danza fouls it back, and it's 0-2. A lot of these at-bats on both sides have been starting 0-2 and then working their way from there. Both pitchers have had a really good grip on the first couple of pitches. Now, that could be because the batters have been more conservative than usual when it comes to their approaches, or it could just mean that these two teams are in a groove and the pitchers are doing better than ever. That one's fouled back. It's 0-2 still.
Dig deep, Daniel, dig deep!
Dan Wilkins Broadcasting does have a Venmo if you'd like to contribute to our operation. We're a very small organization out of South Jersey. I myself am a 20-year-old student at Rowan College of South Jersey looking to advance my career in sports media. So all funds, all donations go towards equipment costs, travel expenses, and taking care of our wonderful assistants and crew. It's at DW Broadcasting. No spaces, no hyphens, and of course, never required, but incredibly appreciated to keep live streams free and easy to watch on our YouTube page. Remember to tune in tomorrow for Mainland and Delsea, South Jersey Group 3 down in Franklinville. Should be a fantastic game as that one's up, 2-2. So again, if you'd like to contribute, not required by any means, but at DW Broadcasting. No spaces and no hyphens. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. As the baseball season wraps up, we'll have a long summer ahead of us with the Tri-County Baseball League. A lot of one-off gigs during the summer. As this ball skied, first base side, Rosenberg lets it go, and that one's going to be on the Browning lane. A lot of brake lights popping on down the first base line there with the foul ball going out of play. Feels like every Gloucester Catholic game, there's either a car that gets their window smashed in because they're parked illegally, or a car that is parked legally that gets dented in with a foul ball. Feels like it's a given at this point, you know? Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Yates tags out the batter Danza. He strikes out. It's the third strikeout for Passalacqua. And there's one away. Taking a look at the divisional standings for Gloucester Catholic. On the right side of your screen, Gloucester Catholic 25-4 going into this game. They won the division with an 8-1 overall record. Kingsway 22-5. They're the number 1 seed in Group 4. Clearview, who was the number 1 seed in Group 3, is 21-6. GCIT was 15-11. Williamstown was 12-12, and Washington Township was 11-13. But what I'll tell you is, this is the most competitive the TCC Royal has been since Gloucester Catholic joined the division in 2022. You know, every year it felt like when GC was atop the division, there was always 1 or 2 more teams that just didn't have it. And usually it was Washington Township or Williamstown. There was a year where Timber Creek was in it, and you know, they didn't really have that much of a jive, but I think, as here's a fly ball by Bogart, center field, fading to the right, and Matarese makes the catch. 2 down. But what I'll tell you is, I mean, obviously for the longest time, Gloucester Catholic was in the TCC Classic, which, as much as Gloucester Catholic is a small school, when you're a non-public, you can recruit. So I don't think there's any justification for putting them in a division with Group 1s like Pittman, Clayton, Salem, and Pennsville. I think that when the TCC got together and moved the Rams to the Royal with all Group 4 talents in 2022, I think that it ended up being a very good conscious decision as this ball's launched to left by Lipoff. Going over. That might be a home run in some ballparks, but here in Gloucester Catholic, it instead hits a lot of green grass as Matarese makes the catch and the side is retired. We go to the 4th here at Brooklawn. 1-1 tie game. Welcome to Brooklawn here at the home of the Gloucester Catholic Rams. It's a 1-1 game. First pitch from Morgan, called strike, 0-1. McLaughlin wavers at 1, 0-2. McLaughlin really misjudged the pitch that time. I think he was thinking fastball 0-1, but Morgan dropped the table off on him with that breaking ball. Now he's in control. And he gets no outside, 1-2. Again, a little bit hard to judge the balls and strikes from a lateral sense from out here in right field, fading towards right center. As the 1-2. McLaughlin, a defensive swing. It ricochets over the fence. It's still 1-2. 6, 7, and 8 for the Crusaders. McLaughlin, Iannone, and Yates. McLaughlin flew out to straightaway right field in his first at bat, and that one misses. 2-2. I'm a little bit relieved that even though this game is still intense, it has seemed to settle down a little bit in terms of the personal side of it. I mean, obviously in the first inning, we were on the brink of something dangerous with some issues over there in the dugouts, as there's a ground ball. That'll get through into left field. Base hit for McLaughlin. Pancoast picks it up, and McLaughlin pokes one to the pull side for a base hit. That's a great recovery there by J.J. McLaughlin, and I'll tell you why. I mean, he was down in the count 0-2, took a strike called, and then really wavered badly on the 0-1. He missed the pitch by about a foot, if not more. And now we're seeing he was able to work the count back, get himself in a strong position, and get himself a base hit. Now here's Matarese. Ground ball, to Iannone. This could be a double play, and it is. Third double play turned in the game. This time Bogart meets Ladique, and then he meets Mohan at first. It's a 4-6-3 double play. And it'll now be Yates who erases the base runner in McLaughlin. 2 away here in the top of the 4th. Yates, fly ball to left field. It looks high off the bat, but it's deceptive in this ballpark. Pancoast makes the catch, and he ends the inning on the first pitch. Going to the bottom of the 4th inning, a single is immediately erased by a double play. JC comes to bat, still 1-1. Welcome back here from Brooklawn, New Jersey. First pitch from Passalaqua misses into Morgan. It's Morgan, Pancoast, and Ledeek in the bottom of the fourth inning. 1-1 game. Both teams traded off a run in the first. It was an RBI single by Max Sullivan in the top half, an RBI triple by Jude Morgan in the bottom half, nothing since. But a very strong crowd on hand, lining up the fence. Very good group out here all around. Reminds me of the Diamond Classic a lot, as there's a strike called, 1-1. And if you're just joining us, it's still a 1-1 game. Haven't had anything in the second, third, or fourth. Passalaqua ran into some trouble in the second inning. He had 2 walks, no hits, but got bailed out with a double play. That one's low. 2-1. But the third year in a row that we've been covering this South Jersey non-public B final, dating back to my senior year of high school in 2024. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Passalaqua ready. Front foot delivers. Fly ball. He got under it. Shallow left field. It might not be that shallow. It's actually going to go out to the shortstop. Bell makes the catch. That was deceptive off the bat. It looked like he got under it, and then it looked like it was carrying a little bit. And at the end of the day, Bell wandered out into the left field grass to make the play for out number 1. So this will bring up the Sacred Heart commit in Pancoast. One ball, no strikes. And remember, there are no state semifinals for the non-public bracket. Whoever wins this game will face the winner of St. Mary's Rutherford and St. Thomas Aquinas at Rutgers at Bainton Field for the state championship. I believe that's set for June the 13th, next Saturday. That one pops out. The weird thing, though, is that they're not playing their sectional final today. St. Mary's Rutherford, that game is scheduled for tomorrow. Usually the sectional finals are supposed to be played today for the non-public, so I'm not sure why they moved it to a different day. There's a fly ball, center field, out towards right center, and Matarese makes the catch. Out number 2. GC's been hitting the ball a lot better, but they've just been hitting the ball right to where the guys are in the outfield. With now 2 flyouts for the first and second outs of the inning. And now here's Ledeek, the third baseman. No at-bats yet, just a walk in his first plate appearance. Takes a strike called, 0-1. The top of the 5th for Eustace, it'll be 9-1-2. Boyle, Fiola, and Bell. Feels like everybody in this Eustace lineup has been productive as there's a fly ball popped up. See who's got a chance here. Bell makes the catch. 1-2-3 inning. So GC puts 3 balls in play, but all of them land on a high pop-up. We go to the top of the 5th. No movement in that scoreboard. Still 1-1. And it gets past everybody. Graham will go back to position with no goal scored. They'll count down the time out loud here. Out to the left. One final shot, and it gets through. How about a buzzer beater? How do you do? It's a lead extending goal for Justin Lewis. Welcome back. 1-1 tie game. Still a lot of rah-rah energy on both sides as both pitchers are settled in and what should be a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel. Listen, I've watched a lot of baseball games at the junior college level that end 15-10 or, 12-11. That's fine, but I can only do so much of it. I need a game like this, a 1-1 game, something where you don't know what's going to happen, and one little mistake can derail not only your entire game but your entire season. Pitch counts. Jude Morgan just threw his 47th pitch. Pasalacqua finished the fourth with 60. As that one's up and out, 1-1. For Eustace, it's again Boyle who struck out looking in his first at bat, and then it's Roman Fiola, Dante Bell. Strike called. But an excellent crowd on hand. I mean, wouldn't want to be anywhere else in South Jersey today, which is why we, fought so hard to get this game on our networks and get it out to all of you guys to showcase our product and to showcase this product on the field. That one spiked in the dirt. An errant pitch by Morgan. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Boyle wavered at a fastball away, and there's one down. But this lineup has been more or less what it's been for Bishop Eustace all year. So Tropiano is not the kind of guy that's going to drastically change his lineup unless he has to accommodate the pitcher, say McLaughlin. The only change from yesterday's lineup is that McLaughlin was the DH Tuesday, pardon. I think I said yesterday. On Tuesday, he was the DH and the pitcher. Which there is a difference, as that one is way high. Morgan now dealing with some control issues. That one definitely had some issues that time. He spiked one low, now he sailed one high. But what we'll say is for McLaughlin on Tuesday, as there's a strike called in her half, 1-2. But McLaughlin being the DH and the pitcher on Tuesday basically boiled down to the Shohei Ohtani rule, though it's been a rule in high school for, it was 2-1, now it's 2-2. It's been a rule in high school for longer than Shohei Ohtani's actually been playing professionally. But because McLaughlin was registered in the lineup as a DH and a pitcher, as that one's fouled away, still 2-2. Even though he was the pitcher, because he was listed as the DH, he was allowed to stay in the game when he was relieved eventually for Carson Brandt. But for Jude Morgan, in his case, he is not listed in the lineup as a designated hitter. He is only listed as the pitcher. So if and when Jude Morgan is taken out of the game, he would have to be hit for by whoever replaces him. A fly ball to straightaway center field. Angelo goes back and he makes the play. 2 down. And the batter is Bell. I like Bell hitting here with 2 outs and nobody on. I mean, obviously you want your guys before you get the job done, but talking about the scenario in the present moment, you've got a guy who's reached base twice, laced a single the other way off of Morgan, and then walked in the third. Even though not much has come of it, he did score Eustace's only run. This is the guy that's been seeing Morgan the best, whether it's out of the hand or seeing it in terms of control and discipline. Bell has seen him better than almost anybody in this Eustace lineup. So if there's anybody who I would enlist to start a 2-out rally, it's probably Dante Bell. One's up and out, 2-0. If the inning continues, Rosenberg is on deck, which that further enhances my point about, pitching to Bell here as a fly ball, right field line. Pinero goes over, not going to have a play. It hits off the netting, and it's 2-1. So if Bell gets on, then you got to deal with a guy like Rosenberg who did single. He had a high chopper to first base, ended up being an infield single, which, to be honest, isn't all that prototypical for Rosenberg, but the playoffs don't care about your usual hits. I think about it in the sense of the 2001 World Series, Yankees Diamondbacks. The guy who won the game for Arizona, Luis Gonzalez, was a 50 home run hitter as there's a fly ball. Left field, center field, pardon. Angelo is there, and in the vast green grass, he'll make the catch to retire the side. So a strikeout and 2 flyouts, and once again, this game is at a standstill. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 1-1 game between Bishop Eustace and Gloucester Catholic.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month. It is the responsibility of all of us to make sure that our friends, family, and anybody who we hold dear in our lives is feeling well. The problem with spotting mental health issues is that the symptoms aren't that obvious. Just because someone is okay or appears okay on the outside doesn't mean that they're okay on the inside. It's important that if they are in distress, that they call the right people and they get the help that they need. And it is very important that we treat each other with respect, regardless of who you are or where you come from. But it is just as important that we treat ourselves with respect, regardless of the situation going on in our lives. If you're in distress, you can call this number, 988, or you can visit any of these websites if you're not in distress, but would like to learn more information about mental health awareness and research.
Welcome back. Dan Passalacqua still on in the bottom of the 5th inning. I mean, listen, nobody's in front right now, so I would say it's go time, but honestly, it might not be, as there's a strike called, 0-1. This broadcast is brought to you by Harper Driving School. Over 90% of students who take their New Jersey State driving test with Harper pass on their first attempt. Book an appointment today at Suite 4 of the Total Turf Complex in Pittman, New Jersey, 614 Lambs Road. How convenient was that for Dan Passalacqua to step off the mound so I could get my ad read in? How nice of him. Here's the 0-1. Up and out. That always seems to happen, though. Whenever I go to read an ad read, like 80% of the time, either the pitcher or the batter will call time, and I'm like, oh, that's great. They know I got to get my sponsors in. Here's the 1-1. This ball's laced into left field. Actually, out towards center field. I apologize. It's very difficult to pick up the ball off the bat at this part of the ballpark. And Matarese makes the catch, but that's at least the 3rd or 4th time where you have a fly ball that's hit to center field, but off the bat, it looks like it's going to hook down the line. It's very difficult to pick up from this position. So, again, I apologize, but only so much you can do, and listen, we've tried streaming from behind the plate. We've tried streaming from different angles. Unfortunately, when you have a field as wonky as this one, it's very difficult to get a very clean sight line unless you have special gadgets and gizmos, in which I do not have. Strike was called to Pinero after Angelo lined out to left, and he'll miss that one above the helmet. 1-1 is the count. Pinero walked in his first plate appearance in the 2nd inning. Was a part of 2 walks that Passalacqua had before a double play ended the threat. Dribbled foul, 1-2. And Mohan would be next for GC in the 9 slot. But this is a really good pivot point for Gloucester Catholic for Bishop Eustace, because if you think about it, Passalacqua is in a groove right now. He has retired the last 8 and now 9 batters straight. No better time to continue enforcing that momentum than versus the bottom of the order. You got 7, 8, and 9 due up in an inning. You can have a clean frame and then have no issue getting out of it, as it's 2-2. That one's outside. Hit a little bit low. But my point is that, for Passalacqua, I'm sure he's aware that he's facing 7, 8, and 9. Every pitcher knows that. Everybody knows where you are in the lineup. But the 2-2 is low again. If you just face these 3 guys, you don't have to worry about the top half of the order with the big swingers like Danza and Lipoff and Bogart and Morgan until you have a clean slate in the 6th. Which right now he's up near 70 pitches, so who knows what Tropiano's got in store for them. They've got a deep bullpen. That one's outside. Pinero tossed the bat quickly. Breaking ball missed off the plate. A little bit surprised on the 3-2 he went for a breaking ball. Passalacqua's done that a decent bit. I'm not surprised that he did it. I'm surprised that he did it in that situation, I should say. But that is the 4th walk allowed by Dan Passalacqua. Weird a game between Donovan Catholic and Paul VI in non-public A that saw Christian Williams, who's committed to Rowan, throw for them at 6 2/3 innings. And he struck out 15 batters, but he had 5 walks. Honestly, you wouldn't have known he had 5 walks if you just saw his highlight reel. Pinero goes. That ball gets under Yates. It'll be a wild pitch. And Pinero advances on the miscue. Puts the go-ahead run in scoring position. Mohan, the 9 batter, lined into that double play in the 2nd inning. He's 0 for 1. Passalacqua looks back at second, neither fielder holding the bag, and he'll step off. Mohan, a .271 hitter as a sophomore, 19 for 70, 1 home run. But Bishop Eustace definitely, if they have an advantage, they have it in the long ball. They have it with 37 home runs compared to GC's 17. But knowing this ballpark, that shouldn't be surprising. There was a throw down to second. Bell applied a tag, but it was late. Close play. Thought that throw got away for a second, but now, after a couple of miscues and after a couple of balls, Passalacqua and Yates will talk. Nothing from the pitching coach yet. But as we said, Carson Brandt pitched Tuesday in 1 inning, but because he had the day of rest, he is allowed to throw today. If Passalacqua gets in trouble. But it's an impossibly tough situation if you're Sam Tropiano to decide whether to take one of your best starters out of the game for a bullpen that you don't know what their consistency is going to be like. Obviously, you trust your pitching. As a coach, your job is to trust your players. But the only guy that you can't throw today is McLaughlin. Brandt, D'Alessandro, Mornell, Romeo, Sanfilippo, and Sullivan, among others that have less usage, all available. Fouled back. I mean, I think D'Alessandro and Sanfilippo are probably not top candidates for this position right now. You know, maybe in 2 years they will, but those guys both have ERAs up over 4. You could go back to Brandt, who threw 20 pitches on Tuesday, and he didn't even need the day of rest because he was under 30. Strike called at the knees. I mean, I'm conflicted because the best guy that you could probably turn to is Max Sullivan. 1.91 ERA, 14 2/3 innings, but he's at second base. And who do you put there as a defensive substitute? Because Passalacqua doesn't play the field. Ground ball, it hits off the foot of the third baseman, McLaughlin, and everybody's safe. Morgan, or Danza, Mohan gets on. Third time's the charm. Pinero walked. He got to second base on a wild pitch. Now he gets to third base on that dribbler up the line. That was a tough play. I think personally I'll give that a base hit, but now the pitching coach will come out. So you had your player-to-player meeting. Now you have your coach meeting with runners on the corners and one away with 2 straight base runners reaching. Again, tune in tomorrow for the South Jersey Group 3 final. Down in Franklinville, we'll have the Mainland Mustangs and the Delsey Crusaders at 3 p.m. I'll be on the call with Damon Dukes for that game out of UMBC. done some fantastic work for ESPN Plus Kingsway grad as well. Excellent gentleman. Home plate umpire comes out to try to break this up. And he will. Again, your umpires today are Carl Coaster behind the plate, Scott Bailey at first, Matt Scalise at third. But the go-ahead run on the corner here on third base with Mohan on first. Just joining us, 1-1 game, bottom of the fifth inning, South Jersey non-public B final. Eustace and GC for the third year in a row. 2024 was a walk-off. 2025 was a little bit more sound with a 5-1 victory. But an excellent crowd on hand here for playoff baseball. He'll face Danza. D1 versus D1. Pasalacqua fakes a throw to third. Danza, as we said, 29 walks. The commit to Mississippi State. Swing and a miss. And only one away. Runners on the corners here, but a fly ball deep enough with Pinero being sneakily fast could bring him in from third. Swing and a miss. He got him. Runner's going to go to second. And that'll be out number 2 as Pasalacqua picks up, that was strike number 2. Hard with the scoreboard out, no scoreboard out here in right field. I mess myself up sometimes, but the runner did advance to second. 2 strikes on Danza. Got 2 swings and misses. Bogart next to second baseman. Infield in for Eustace with 2 runners in scoring position. Low and out. So now that first base is unoccupied, you've got a 3-2 count. Runners on second and third. It's Mohan on second. Pinero on third. A fly ball deep enough can score this go-ahead run. Pasalacqua ready. Up and out. So I guess now it's 3-2. Really wish they had a scoreboard facing us or something. But what are you going to do? One out. 2 in scoring position. The infield of Rosenberg, Sullivan, Bell, and McLaughlin on the edge of the grass. Fly ball. Popped way up. Pasalacqua's going to call for it, and he'll make the catch. I don't know if I saw an infield fly rule called there, but Pasalacqua makes the catch. You don't see that too often. A lot of times you see pitchers basically scramble off the field whenever a ball comes their way on a pop fly. They let somebody from the corners come in and grab it. Great job by Pasalacqua there to kind of stand on his own there and call everybody off and make the play, because that's very difficult. 2 outs, and the first pitch is a called strike to Bogart. Bogart 1 for 2, singled in the first inning. He was retired via a double play. There have been 3 double plays turned in this game. Which, funny enough, as that one's low and away, you don't see that too often at the high school level. I mean, I don't think I've had a game, maybe I've had one this year where we've had more than 2 double plays. Just because they're getting harder and harder to turn with the batters getting quicker and quicker out of the box. The 1-1. Fouled back, and it's 1-2. In the 6th for Eustace. 3, 4, and 5. Rosenberg, Sullivan, Matarese. 1-2, 2 outs. Foul back again. Still 1-2. Braden Mohan is on second base. It's Eddie Pinero on third for Gloucester Catholic. Pinero walked. Mohan singled down the third base line, and Mohan advanced to second on a wild pitch, which is what brought Eustace's infield in, but now they're back with the exception of the third baseman holding the bag. Line drive into left field, a base hit. Fiola's got it. Rounding third is Mohan. It's a 2-run single. To second goes Bogart, and it's 3-1. 2-run single off the bat of Jason Bogart, his second hit of the day, and it's the most important one yet, as Jason Bogart delivers in a big spot, bottom of the fifth inning off of Passalaqua, and it's 3-1 Gloucester Catholic. Couldn't have waited for a better time to get that one. 2 strikes, 2 outs. Struck at the right time, and it was a perfect hit. On a tough pitch, that ball was a little bit up. I don't know if it would have been a ball, but Bogart gets the job done. Bogart advanced to second base on the throw. And here is Lipoff. Lipoff, first pitch skied to right. Iannone runs over for it, but he won't have a play. It's 0-1. Lipoff is 0 for 2. Lipoff calls time. They actually asked the batter in the on-deck circle to move. Lipoff 0 for 2. Double play and a fly ball. And he steps off. Little intimidation tactic like the Johnny Cueto. You know, make him reconsider a little bit. To Lipoff. Swing and a foul. As we said, it'll be 3, 4, and 5 with Rosenberg leading us off in the 6th. But now that you're down by 2, need something started from that middle of the order. 2-strike pitch. That one's crushed to left center field. This ball could get down. Wow, that ball was launched. Matarese has to pick it up in a flurry of fans. Matarese throws to third. Lipoff triple. 4-1. Braden Lipoff with a triple. And the home plate umpire coming in. They're demanding Gloucester Catholic go into the dugout. They're telling them they can't come out. It's an RBI triple for Braden Lipoff. It's 4-1. That was absolutely crushed, and it probably would have been a home run in a lot of places. But instead, Matarese had to basically go through. I mean, I'm sorry, but this is a prestigious ballpark. It's a prestigious place to play baseball. I've said it for the past 3 years that we've played here. There is no excuse not to put up some kind of temporary fence so that we don't have 465 feet to center field. I mean, I understand that the ball's in play no matter what, and you can't have uniform dimensions for baseball stadiums, but that's a situation where Matarese, I don't know if my angle was right, but it looked like he literally had to pick up the ball in front of some folks that were just sitting and watching the game. I don't think they thought the ball was going to come their way. From where the fence ends in right field to the church and left, why can't we put up something? I mean, it's the Wild West out there in center field. I don't know. I understand that you're not going to hit a 460-foot home run to center field in high school unless your name's Mike Trout. But I still don't think that it's the right configuration for a place that's this important. As to blooper to right field, that drops, and it's now 5-1. RBI single for Jude Morgan, who helps his own cause. It's 3 straight RBI hits. And it's now a 4-run game as Passalaqua is in heavy trouble. And I feel like the trophy time. It's a stolen base for Morgan. So runner on second now in a 4-run lead for Gloucester Catholic, and yet another runner in scoring position. So a walk and a single. Both of them scored on Jason Bogart's 2-run single. Braden Lipoff drove in one on an RBI triple. He just scored on the bloop base hit by Morgan. That one's up and out. Pasalekwa still got his velocity, but doesn't seem to, I mean, listen, the control's been a little bit off today. He's had 4 walks. And that's not what Sam Tropiano was looking for in this championship game. Here's the pitch. Fouled back. But Pankos, the batter, the left fielder, committed to Sacred Heart, as we've mentioned ad nauseum in this broadcast. 0 for 2, strikeout and a flyout. And the pitch. Now when it's low, it skips up off the netting. Runner will get to third. So Morgan stole second base, got to third. And now Pankos looks to drive him in for what would be GC's 4th straight RBI knock. You had the 2-run single by Bogart, the RBI triple by Lipoff, and an RBI single by Morgan. Late on it, it's foul. 2-2. Pasalekwa ready. He delivers. Line drive, left field. This one's up, going back. It is down. It's fair. It's off the fence in left field. Fiola picks it up. Morgan scores. Now he's on the horse to third. The ball was loose in the infield. Sullivan's throw offline. Whoever threw the ball in, I think it was Fiola, threw the ball well up the line to second base. Pankos never stopped running. I think that's going to be a double and a fielding error of some kind, because he didn't get the third on, I wouldn't call that a triple in any way. You've now got Ledeek, the batter. GC's now put up 9 batters, and now here comes the pitching coach. We'll see if this is it for Pasalekwa, as he has given up 4 straight RBI hits, and the Delaware commit comes out of the game. So a pitching change for Bishop Eustace, and when we return, it's GC 6 and Bishop Eustace 1. James Sanfilippo on the mound for Bishop Eustace. He replaces Dan Pasalacqua, the freshman. I was a little bit surprised that that's who Sam Tropiano called upon, but listen, he's got experience, and he's only 1 out away from getting out of this inning, but Gloucester Catholic has scored 5 runs. This is their 9th batter in Chase Ledeek, the third baseman. And 5 runs have already come across in this frame. And 4 straight RBI hits that forced Pasalacqua out of the game. First pitch fouled back, 0-1. He's 0 for 1, walk and a pop out. If the inning continues after him, Angelo would be on deck, but this ball is hit well. Left field, it's up there. Going back, Viola, it is gone! 2-run home run, Chase Ledeek. He'll fly around the bases. It's hard to hit it out here, but he hooks it down the line, and a 7-run inning for Gloucester Catholic proves why this team is so well revered. Listen to that roar. And it is 8-1. Chase Ledeek, the third baseman, and the transfer from Collingswood keeps the hits ablazing with a long fly ball to left that poked in between the left field fence and the church. And it's now 8-1 as it'll be Angelo, the center fielder. Sanfilippo now with a clean slate. First pitch strike. I mean, listen, I covered the Brookdale RCSJ game where RCSJ came back from 17-1, so I don't think this game is over by any means. But this ball is hit out to left field, hit pretty deep, but Viola is there, comes in for a slide, and the inning is over. But not before 7 runs, 10 batters, and a grand total of 6 hits in the inning. We go to the 6th. It's Gloucester Catholic 8, Bishop Eustace 1. Top of the 6th inning, Jude Morgan still out. And he definitely had a long time to think about what he was going to do in the top of the 6th inning as Gloucester Catholic put together a 7-run, 6-hit rally, including a 2-run home run by Chase Ledeek. And Morgan's first pitch to Mason Rosenberg is a strike called. The one thing you got to think about if you're Mason Rosenberg is that you cannot tie the game with no such thing as a 7-run home run. You just have to take it one step at a time. Greg Himes described it really well. And by the way, that was pitch number 65 for Morgan. So if he has a clean 6th, he definitely could go the distance, which I think is what he did last year, if I'm correct. If that ball missed in. 2 balls, 1 strike to Rosenberg. 3, 4, and 5 due up in the 6th for Bishop Eustace. Rosenberg followed by Sullivan, who has the game's only RBI for Eustace. That one misses up and in. 3-1. Strike called inner half. But when we had Greg Himes on as a guest analyst for Washington Township, Rancocas Valley, he described best to me as the 3-2 is grounded sharply. High chopper for Bogart, picks it up. Throw to first is a little bit low, but Mohan picks it up, and there's out number 1. One of the best things that he said was when you're down in a situation like that, there's no such thing as a 10-run home run. You just have to chip away one at bat at a time, and eventually the momentum will shift in your favor if you play your cards right. Now, of course, baseball is a game that has no guarantees. As Sullivan will step in versus Morgan. First pitch is low. The great crowd on hand here at Joe Barth Field, just off of Route 130 in Brooklawn. That one's high. 2-0. Strike called, 2-1. Sullivan had an RBI single in the top of the first inning, and again, that was Eustace's only run, and it is their only run to this point. That one's high. Morgan's going to have Lipoff come out as that ball slipped out of his hand. At shortstop, Danza's playing really deep. In fact, his feet are both on the edge of the dirt near the outfield grass. I think they're expecting a sharp grounder by Sullivan. Morgan delivers. Swinging a foul. Back at it again. And the 3-2 lined into left field. That's a fair ball. Picked up and left by Pancoast. And a good job to stop there. Sullivan, I think he wanted 2, but Pancoast cutting it off stopped him there. And that's how you start a comeback. Again, there's no 7-run home run. You just have to take it one swing at a time, and Bishop Eustace getting it started with a 1-out single off the bat of Max Sullivan. And it'll be Matarese now, the center fielder. Dan Wilkins Broadcasting opens up our summer coverage on Monday, June the 8th, for a Tri-County Baseball League matchup between the Gartons of Vineland and the Pittman Bad Guys from Alcyon Park at 7 p.m. There's a strike called, 0-1. We'll also be on the air on Sunday, June the 14th, for a North Division matchup in the Tri-County Baseball League between the Burlington Township Pirates and the Cinnaminson Crew from Memorial Park in Cinnaminson. Morgan ready, the 0-1. Ball popped up into shallow left. Pancoast goes over. He's got room, got plenty of room, and he'd like to catch. Got an acre of real estate out there and left. And there's 2 down for McLaughlin. For Sullivan, that was his second base hit of the day. We said he had that RBI single in the first. He grounded into a fielder's choice. So he's reached base all 3 times. He's really been Eustace's best asset in this game. But Matarese flying out in shallow territory the other way now sets up McLaughlin. 1 for 2 with a fly out and a single. High chopper, third base side foul. Inside. 2-1 to McLaughlin. McLaughlin homered in Tuesday's win over Holy Spirit. And this one's popped up, but out of play. Angelo gives it a look. Or, pardon, Ledeek gave it a look. Nothing there. I think Ledeek's homer made it the first player on DWB to homer for two different high school teams. Because we had a game back last year between West Effort and Collingswood where Chase homered with 5 home runs in that game. And our good friend Chris Baker, who's behind the plate, was on the call for that. It's right there next to, well, Kevin Minnick somewhere in there, but the man himself, Kevin Minnick. Low, ball 4 for McLaughlin. That is the second walk allowed by Morgan. And his first allowed since inning number 3, as it'll be Franco Iannone, the right fielder. Iannone 0 for 2. Called a strike, 0-1. Right just beneath the letters for Iannone. The Gloucester Catholic up by 7 runs. Would only need 3 in the 6th inning to win this one early, which is how Bishop Eustace won their first 2 games. They won 10-0 and 12-2. And what a turnaround it would be to have your season end on that same fate. You know, it goes back to that classic saying, the game it giveth and it taketh away. It's 1-1. Ball missed up and out that time. Called a strike, 1-2. In the bottom of the 6th for Gloucester Catholic, they'll bat 8, 9, and 1. Pinero, Morgan, and Danza. After that crooked number, 7 runs, 6 hits, and that 2-run home run that blew the top off this place. And what a transformative inning it was to turn this game around. Swing and a miss. Iannone throws his bat. The throw to first is in time, and he was quite frustrated with himself there as he leaves 2 runners on, and the inning is over. So Gloucester Catholic has a chance to extend the lead, but Eustace will try to shut him down in the bullpen. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's Gloucester Catholic 8 and Bishop Eustace 1. Bottom of the 6th inning, it's Pinero versus San Filippo. South Jersey non-public B final here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. First pitch missed. 8, 9, and 1. 10 batters came up for Gloucester Catholic, all topped off by a 2-run home run by Chase Ledeek to left field. The transfer from Collingswood as that one misses low. 2-0. Again, if Gloucester Catholic, regardless of who wins today, they will face the winner of St. Mary's Rutherford and St. Thomas Aquinas in the non-public B final. Remember, all state championships are at Rutgers this year, Bainton Field, on the campus of Rutgers. It was for the past several years at Veterans Park in Hamilton, but Pinero fouls it back. Recent controversies involving the venue made it, I think, kind of an embarrassment. Last year's state finals were. Half of them were not even played at a professional complex. Some of them were played at Woodridge. It just wasn't a good look all around, and they, I think, did the right thing by bringing that back to Rutgers as that ball misses inside. Pinero still working the count here. And the pitch. Fly ball. Center field. It's hit pretty deep, but Matarese has room, and he'll make the catch. The back up to its wits end that time, and Pinero flies out for out number one. You take the little things in this situation. I mean, listen, San Filippo gets an out. I mean, yeah, he worked up his pitch count, but you do the best that you can in this situation when you're down 8-1, and you're going to have one last shot to get it done in inning number 7. You could argue it was the worst possible time for Gloucester Catholic to break a game open like this. One's a strike called to Mohan, the sophomore. Mohan lines it, and it's right to third base, caught by McLaughlin, out number 2. That ball was hit so quickly I couldn't even turn the camera around by the time that it landed in McLaughlin's glove. They call it the hot corner for a reason, and there's 2 away. Go back to the top of the order for Danza. Up and out to Danza, 1-0. Danza on the ground foul. 1-1. 1-1 is the count to Danza. That one's high. It's 2-1. A little bit of time called there. First base umpire went over to talk to somebody before we resumed. That was the stoppage. I don't know if he was talking to somebody in Eustace's dugout or somebody over the fence. A ground ball foul. 2-2. I mean, there's definitely been a lot of emotions in this game. I mean, that first inning was wild. I'd never seen a coach turn and go face-to-face with players. I mean, listen, it's an intense game, but at the end of the day, it's high school baseball. And there has to be a baseline for sportsmanship as there's strike 3. So San Filippo gets the strikeout, and he is the relief that Eustace needed, but is it too late? He has a clean 6th inning. We go to the top of the 7th. It looks like it'll be Jude Morgan that will finish this game out if Gloucester Catholic can keep their wits about them. They've got a 7-run lead. It's 8-1 going to the 7th. Gloucester Catholic is 3 outs away from a title. If Jude Morgan can shut down 8-9-1 here for Bishop Eustace, they have won 6 of the last 8 non-public championships. It will be 7 in 10 years if they win. Of course, there were none in 2020 with the canceled season. Yates on the second pitch. Ground ball. What a save by Bogart. He has time. He got him. Spinning and firing on the grass. Jason Bogart with a great play. That's out number 1. And here is Boyle. And that is definitely a gut punch for what Eustace wanted. They wanted to come back in this, and they haven't won a South Jersey title since 2006. And obviously with the program that they have, Sam Tropiano keeps bringing in great guys, and you have to think that at one point it'll be their year. You know, there was a year where they were the 1 seed in non-public A, and they didn't make it out of the final there either. I mean, listen, this is a storied program. Sam Tropiano, 800 wins across Eustace and St. Augustine. There's a strike called. And listen, I'm not biased, but I do want to see Tropiano get one before he retires because he deserves it. He's a hard worker. He's somebody who is incredibly down to earth, at least to us, and somebody who has so much prestige and does it as a well-meaning family man. Ball missed outside. 2 balls, 1 strike to Boyle, who's got 2 strikeouts. That one's low, 3-1. And Morgan with just under 80 pitches, he's definitely got a lot to leverage. You've got over 30 pitches before the state limits you for the 110-pitch daily allocation. There's a swing and a miss. He got him. And there's 2 away. Jude Morgan with now a total of 5 strikeouts. And Gloucester Catholic had to walk them off 2 years ago. They had to win by 4 runs last year. And can they win it in the most convincing fashion that they have done yet since 2023? It was Jack Mistero's walk-off double as the first pitch was called a strike to Fiola. Fouled back. So here you go. Gloucester Catholic looking for 4 in a row. Last year it was a trip to Veterans Park. This year it's a trip to Rutgers. And it's low, 1-2. Fiola 0 for 3. He's been precise in this game. He's had 3 flyouts, all to center field. Fouled back again, and he stays alive. So this would be a complete game effort for Morgan with 5 strikeouts. He allowed 3 hits in the first inning and an RBI, but Dennis Barth never lost faith in his man and has only allowed 1 and 2 hits since the first inning. Outside. And he'll stay alive there. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Morgan working quickly. Fly ball, foul down the left field line. Oh, that one got somebody's roof. Morgan never leaving his stride. He's ready. The 2-2. High chopper, first base side. It hits the batter's foot. Gloucester Catholic is celebrating. It's a foul ball. They thought it was fair. It hit Fiola in the foot, so it never would have been fair in the first place. And a little premature celebration there. Dennis Barth is trying to argue the play. He's going to ask the umpires on this to conference on it. I mean, it definitely hit Fiola's foot, so I don't know what the argument is, but again, that's Carl Coaster behind the plate. Scott Bailey at first, Matt Scalise at third. Great to have 3 umpire crews here in the playoffs. And I think that was a big reason as the 2-2 is low, 3-2. I think that was a big reason why this game stayed peaceful. Because if you told me after the first inning that we would have no further conflict in this game, I wouldn't have believed you. The 3-2. High chopper. Second base. Bogart is there. In the grass. 7 titles in 10 years. Gloucester Catholic has done it again. 4 straight non-public B South Jersey champions. An 8-1 rout of Bishop Eustace. And they are pile driving all the way into the outfield. Gloucester Catholic complete game, Jude Morgan. And in what was an intense game at the beginning, settles down for a good old-fashioned offensive game. With 7 of their 8 runs coming in the 5th inning, Gloucester Catholic blew it open with scientific precision. Enough time to put the game away and enough time to prevent Bishop Eustace from ever getting ahead. They scored 1 run in the first, and that was all they were able to muster. And every time we've seen this matchup now, it's been more and more lopsided every single year. Eustace had a great shot in the beginning, and the game was tied at 1-1 going all the way to the bottom of the 5th. But sometimes push comes to shove, and that shove can be quite a powerful one. Your player of the game, presented by Harper Driving School, is Jude Morgan. 7 innings, a grand total of 5 strikeouts, only 5 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and under 85 pitches total. I mean, the guy just had an amazing performance. He was really able to shut down Bishop Eustace. He did it before, and he's done it again. Listen, GC beat Eustace 8-0 in the Diamond Classic quarterfinals, and I did not think that the game was going to be a 7-run game because of the fact that you saw in the postseason how things can be so drastically different compared to the regular season. Everything always seems to change in the postseason, except for Gloucester Catholic. They're still winning, and they're going to have, for the 4th year in a row, an opportunity to hoist a trophy. And instead of it being at Veterans Park, they'll do it at Rutgers University at Bainton Field. That'll be all for us tonight on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. From our entire crew, our social media coordinator, Haley Mejia, our graphics crew, Caleb Lane, Carson Rosso, and Fisher Giannotti. My producer, Donna Wilkins. I'm Dan Wilkins. We'll see you tomorrow for the South Jersey Group 3 finale between Mainland, I don't know why I blanked on it, Mainland Regional and Delsey. The final score tonight, Gloucester Catholic 8, Bishop Eustace 1 on an entertaining Thursday afternoon from Brooklawn. That'll be all. Have a good one, folks.